morning, Loveland. I'm Mike Meldon, and this is the Loveland Weekly Podcast. You may hear some birds, some wind, and maybe even some frogs as you listen to this intro and outro. I thought it'd be fitting to sit by the pond while I recorded this. Today's feature story is on the Loveland Frogman, a cryptid and local legend that has caught the attention of people all around the world. I'll be talking with another local legend, Mark Bersani, who along with his wife Robin owns Loveland Canoe and Kayak. We will then hear from some of Loveland's leaders to get their take on the Frogman. Stay tuned. Today is Monday, April 10th, 2023. Mark, can you tell me what the Loveland Frogman is and a little bit about the origin story?
So Loveland is home to a 4-foot-tall frog-like man that has been seen walking bipedal on its hind legs. And so the first reported sighting, Mike, was in 1955 by a traveling salesman who thought he saw something that looked like a frog, had leathery skin, down off of what is now Kemper Road, but was Riverside Drive at the time.
Gotcha.
And then there was another reported sighting in 1972 by two different policemen on two different events. The second reported sighting was in 1972, and there was actually two different sightings a few weeks apart by two different police officers who thought they saw, again, the first one thought he saw a frog-like creature that was about 3 to 4 foot tall, hopping over a railing, and then about 2 to 3 weeks later, supposedly another police officer saw a very similar type of thing. And then the last reported sighting that I've heard of was in 2016 by two kids that were playing Pokemon Go, and they were obviously looking for adventure and mystery, and they thought that they saw the Frogman down by Lake Isabella. So what the Frogman is really it's an urban legend. It's a cryptid that is home, is in Loveland, and we hear people ask about the Frogman every summer. We hear people that have different stories about it, different experiences, and I've talked to people even outside of Loveland who said, we know the Loveland Frogman. And I think one of the things that was cool when we first bought the business 20 years ago, and we started researching Loveland, Robin came across this urban legend, the Loveland Frogman, and she said, "Come look at this." And I said, "Well, that's really cool. It's kind of like Bigfoot, right?"
Good comparison, and just like Bigfoot, the Loveland Frogman's known all around the world. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, it really is, and I think there's a whole group of people that follow these cryptids, which, the Yeti and Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster fall into that category, right? Mike, I think people love mystery, and I think that they want to explore, and I think they want adventure. So this gives them an opportunity to do that.
As owners of Loveland Canoe and Kayak, do you and Robin hear any stories about the Frogman since you're right along the river?
Well, I think one of the most unusual and fun stories that I've heard is the previous owner of Loveland Canoe and Kayak, which was called Bruce's at the time, was Bruce Crutchfield. And Bruce was a very creative guy, and this is before social media, and this is before the internet. But he created a contest with WEBN to find the Frogman.
Nice. And
he was paying a $500 reward if you were able to find and take pictures of the Frogman as a way to drive people to the business.
That's great.
It was very successful from what I hear. It, again, was before my time, so that may be another urban legend. It sounds like something Bruce would have done because, again, he was extremely innovative and creative, and I think that would be a fun way to kind of promote it and bring people to Loveland.
And finally, Mark, how do you think the legend, or this type of legend, helps out a small town like Loveland?
When we can bring people to Loveland to explore, to go on adventures, they find out what makes Loveland special, right? There's so much here. As you pointed out, the nature, the trees, the community here, the businesses we have downtown. So bringing them to Loveland and having some fun and having something to look for is really a great way to get people into the community.
Yeah. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Did you know that a recent study showed that more than 90% of consumers want to see more video content from companies they like on social media? Let JL Aerial Views provide you with their high-quality drone imaging. This Loveland-based team brings a new perspective to advertisements, social media, printed materials, and more. Visit jlaerialviews.com to learn more and to contact them today. I thought it might be fun to reach out to some of Loveland's local leaders to find out their thoughts on the Loveland Frogman. Here's what I got back.
Hey, Mike, it's Cece Collins, president of Little Miami River Chamber Alliance. I am giving you my statement on the Frogman. And although I haven't seen the Frogman with my own eyes, I'm not totally certain what that Loveland police officer saw many, many years ago from the origin of where the myth started of the Frogman. I know that Loveland indeed does have frogs, and they certainly have men or mankind. Therefore, I believe in the spirit of the Frogman.
So we heard from C.C. Collins, the president of the Little Miami Chamber Alliance. And next we're going to hear from Kent Blair, city council member.
Hey, Mike, it's Kent Blair. Thanks for asking me the question. Of course I believe in the Loveland Frogman. Just like I believe in Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Great Pumpkin, and Johnny Appleseed. Have a great show this week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Hello, Mr. Meldon. Mayor Bailey here. I would have to say this in answer to the question whether or not I believe the Loveland Frogman is real. He is rumored, or legend has it, that this particular frogman stood roughly 4 feet tall. So I sincerely hope that he isn't real and was never real, because that is frightening. I much prefer the legend and the idea of the frogman, much less frightening for our land of love. So I don't know about believing that he's actually real, but I sure do like the legend, and I love that it is associated with our fine city, and that we can capitalize on that and have fun with it, like our frogman race, and now we have a full-size frogman costume, as you know, that we can bring out on events that we have. So I love the idea of the frogman much more than I like the thought that it actually existed at any time. I hope that answers your question. Have a great podcast.
And there we heard from our great mayor, Kathy Bailey. And next we're going to hear from our superintendent of Loveland Schools.
This is Mike Broadwater, superintendent of Loveland City School District. And absolutely, I believe in Frogman. When I took the position 2 years ago, I had not really heard about Frogman, but my wife and I the other night, we were walking through the Loveland bike trail. It was kind of dark, and we heard some rustling beside us, and we got a little jumpy, thinking it was a frogman, but here was 2 deer crossing our path in the evening. They looked at us, gave us a nod, and said, "Yeah, there's a frogman, and we're leaving." So, yes, I believe in frogman, and I would make sure that Loveland is aware that he is there.
And wrapping it up for us, we had Donna Barnes, current Valentine lady, and John Hart, current city council member. I appreciate their responses. They were great responses. And I'd just like to say, it's people like them doing little things like this that make Loveland so different and so special. So thanks again for helping me out, and thanks again for everybody that's listening.
Hi, Mike. It's Donna Barnes. You asked if I believe in the Loveland Frogman. My understanding is that the original sightings of the Loveland Frogman were in March of 1972 by 2 Loveland police officers on 2 separate evenings. I would say that those are fairly reliable sources. In the past month, the Loveland Frogman has been seen by hundreds of people in this region and indeed all over the country. This is because the Loveland Valentine ladies chose an image of the Loveland Frogman as the winning contestant in our Loveland Valentine art contest. So the Loveland Frogman was featured on our Valentine cards this year. So he must be real, right?
Hi, Mike. It's John Hart. When talking about the Loveland Frogman, I guess that the first thing that would come to my mind is that probably there's no definitive proof that it exists or doesn't exist. But with the sightings over the years and plenty of people believing in it, I feel like it's I don't know, it's kind of akin to the character of the city and kind of works into the lure of the city, and maybe just maybe this creature is out there that is protecting our city. Seems to be a docile creature, as the sightings don't, point to any kind of maliciousness from the Frogman. So I was going to go with it. It's a pretty docile and maybe kind-hearted creature, and maybe it's protecting the city. So I'm going to say, yeah, I believe in it. I don't know a good reason not to, but I think it's a fun symbol for the city to work with and around. Thanks.
Looking ahead in Loveland. The Loveland Learning Garden, local Girl Scout Group 4025, and Love Our Land are trying to raise funds to create a new native plant garden at the Loveland Primary School. If interested in supporting this project, go to www.loveourland.org. Make a sweet pine cone ornament to jazz up your garden, patio, or even liven up a corner of a room. It is an easy way to explore the ceramic arts as we walk you step by step through the process. Join us at Whistle Stop Clayworks. We supply the instruction, clay, tools, and you supply the cocktails. There's no experience needed. Project ready for pickup in 2 to 3 weeks, ages 21 and over. See their website for details. And the Loveland Sustainability Committee will hold its annual electronics recycling event on April 22nd from 1 to 4 p.m. If you have any questions, just email lovelandsustainabilitycouncil@gmail.com. We have something truly special here in Loveland. Thank you for listening.